girls, welcome to Project Parables. We are so excited that you are joining us for this remote summer camp. We have got lots to learn this summer. We've got lots of fun activities coming up, so we're really excited to learn about parables. Those are these special stories that Jesus told, and some of them teach us about the kingdom of heaven, and some of them answer questions that somebody asked Jesus. And so these are going to be really great stories for us to dive into and to keep learning about all week long. And I hope that if you have registered for Project Parables, that you have already gotten your activities and your supply kits to go with that, so that you can keep learning about these Bible stories and keep wondering and thinking about what God is saying to you all week long. If you haven't gotten an activity kit or you haven't actually registered for Project Parables, you know what? That's okay. We would love to have you join us by watching these videos and learning about the parables of Jesus. But if you want to join us on this journey and get those activities to go along with these Bible stories, then you are welcome to go to our church's website and register there and let us know that you would like to be part of this remote summer camp. We'd love to have you at Project Parables. So, friends, there are a couple of things that we are going to do every week of this 5-week journey through Project Parables. And I want to tell you about those before we dive into our first parable of the camp. One of the things we're going to do is just a simple phrase that I'm going to say, and if you have been at children's church with us ever, you are probably used to hearing this phrase of, I wonder. I wonder, I wonder how it felt when, I wonder what's in that box, I wonder. And when you hear me say, I wonder, all throughout our parables, this remote summer camp, that is me actually asking you a question. I want to know what you think. What are you wondering? So I would love for you to respond out loud. If I say, I wonder, then you can start to think out loud wherever you are. And that's one of the wonderful ways that we are going to feel like we are doing this together. We're learning together, even if we are in our own homes, even if we are watching on a different day of the week. We're learning together because we are wondering about what God is saying to us. And if you have a really great thought that you want to share with all of us, or maybe you have your own I wonder question, maybe something in the story has sparked an idea in you and you want to ask, I wonder this, then that's a great way for you to share with us through the comments on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you are watching this video, or get the adult who's watching with you to type that up for you. Either way, we would love to hear those and read them as we go throughout this time together. All right, the other thing we're gonna do throughout our 5 weeks is to set the room. And this is gonna help us to get ready to hear from God. I know sometimes we get a bit wiggly or anxious or excited, and it's hard to concentrate on hearing from God. So we're going to do 2 different things to try and help us set our room and maybe help us to concentrate on God and to calm our bodies down a little bit. So one of the things we're going to do is to light a candle. You guys, this is something we do when we're in worship here together at GBC. We always have a candle burning in the sanctuary to remind us that Christ is with us, that God is with us in this time. So if you have your activity kit with all of your supplies in it, you have a little candle. Mine is a bit bigger. Yours is probably about that size. But why don't you pause this video and go and get that candle and come right back, okay? All right, so we've all got our candles, and we are going to light our candles. And mine is battery powered, so is yours. So let's just turn it over, and we're gonna slide that little black switch over and light our candle. And this light reminds us that God is with us in this time. And maybe if our minds wander somewhere else, this light can help us to come back. We can look at the candle and remember, oh, God is with me. God might be speaking to me right now. It can help us to bring our minds back to the parable that we're learning, all right? So we have our candle. We're going to put it somewhere to the side where we're not going to touch it, because we want to leave it there to remind us of God with us. Somewhere we can see it, but it's not going to be something that we pick up during the parable. And the other thing we're going to do to get ready for our story is to get a little bit of movement involved so that maybe we can relax our bodies and maybe be a little bit less wiggly on the outside. So what I'd like you to do for this week for our movement to begin is to crisscross your legs. You can stack them like mine, or you can have them flat, whatever is more comfortable. And we're just going to do a little bit of stretching with our arms and our back and maybe our fingers here. So first you're going to take a deep breath in and just stretch your arms all the way up above your head and maybe wiggle your fingers. You can have your thumbs pointing behind you and thinking tall. And then you're going to press your arms out and breathe out and slowly bring them back down to the ground. All right, let's do that one more time. Breathing in and stretching up and thinking as tall as you can, but not in a way that stretches too much that hurts. And when we're ready to bring our arms down, you're going to do a little twist and bring one hand behind you and one hand on your knee, and just a little bit of a twist. So we don't want to hurt our backs or try and twist as much as possible, just a little bit. And then come back to your center. And last time, we're going to stretch all the way up. Deep breath in. And then when you're ready, twist to the other side. And I'm going to make sure I don't hit this book of the Bible. And just a little bit of a twist. And then when you're ready to come back to the center. All right. Well, now that our bodies are a little bit engaged and we've got our candle lit, let's take a look at our story box, our box of parables. Now let's look at this box. It's gold. I wonder what could be inside our box. I wonder what the color gold might mean to us. What do you think about the color? Sometimes gold things are really valuable and precious. Maybe what's inside is valuable. Parables can be really valuable. They teach important lessons. It kind of looks a little bit like a present, don't you think? It's kind of like a box that you might get a present in. And parables are presents for you and for me. Even though Jesus told parables a long, long time ago, they are meant for you and for me, and they're always here for us. They're a gift. The other thing I notice about our box is that there is a lid on our box. Well, the lid is kind of like a closed door. You know, sometimes parables can be hard to get into. Even if you're ready to enter them, sometimes they're really hard to get into, like a closed door. But that just means that we need to keep coming back to them over and over again until they're ready to open for us, until we can understand them better. And that's why it's so great that they're a gift to us, because they are always there for us to come back to. Well, let's go ahead and open up our box. See what might be inside. This is the first bit that's inside. I wonder what this is. What do you think? It's soft. And it's brown. It's brown. Let's see. It's brown all over. It's kind of big. What do you think that might be? what's in our box to set up our story. So let's go ahead and start, okay? There once was a man who traveled around and taught such amazing things and did such wonderful things that people began to follow him. And one of the things he taught about was a kingdom. But this kingdom, it wasn't like the kingdom that these people were living in. And it wasn't like a kingdom that any of them had ever visited. You know what? It wasn't like any kingdom they had ever heard about. And so they had to ask him, what is the kingdom of heaven like? Well, one day, when they asked him, what is the kingdom of heaven like? He said to them, the kingdom of heaven is like a sower, someone who plants seeds, who goes out to sow. Well, this sower sows seeds on the path. And then along come all the birds of the air. And they eat up all the seeds sown along the path. And then the sower sows some seeds. And these seeds, they fall among the stones. And the seeds, well, they try to get their little roots down in among the stones, down to the soil, but they just can't get their roots down in amongst the stones. And so the sun comes up and it scorches the seeds and they die. So the sower sows some more seeds. And those seeds fall amongst the thorns. And those little seeds try and get their roots down into the soil, and it gets down in there just a little bit. So some of them start to grow until the thorns choke them and they die. So the sower sows some more seeds. And these seeds fall on good soil. And as the seeds work their roots down into this good, healthy soil, and the rains come, and the sunshine shines on them, they grow, and they grow, and they grow, until the harvest comes. And the harvest is 30, 60, 100 bushels. Well, I wonder what the sower's name is. Would you like to name the sower? I wonder how the sower felt when he planted seeds on the path and the birds came to eat them up. I wonder how the birds felt when they saw the sower. I wonder what the sower was doing when he sowed seeds among the stones. wonder how the seeds felt when they were trying to grow around the rocks. I wonder what the sower was doing when he planted seeds around the thorns. I wonder how the seeds felt when the thorns grew up and choked them. What do you think? I wonder what the sower was doing while the seeds were growing in the good soil. What do you think the sower was doing? And I wonder what the harvest really is. I wonder what the harvest really is. Is it like this? Or like this? Or is it like this? I wonder what the harvest really is. 30, 60, 100 bushels of harvest. The good soil, the thorny soil, the rocky soil, the birds of the air who ate those seeds along the path. The sower. Well, I wonder how God is going to continue to speak to you about this parable, about the things you see this week. I wonder what your work will be. Will you take a nature walk, or plant something, or maybe make a wind chime? What will you do this week? And how will God speak to you? Well, friends, as we close our time together today, let's grab our candles. Before we blow them out, let's remember the words of Jesus. The kingdom of God is like the sower, someone who plants